Hello, welcome to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We are here for the regional semifinal matchup between the, let's see, who do we got here? That would be the United Red Storm and the West Prairie Cyclones. Greg Phelps starting the introductions, and we will get back to you after those are done.
And now the starting lineup for the United Red Storm. Number 9, Kerrigan Sperry. Number 1, Maddie Diaz. Number 17, Callie Mason. Number 4, Veronica Miller. Number 3, Madison Penn. Number 6, Reese Wilson. And the libero tonight is Lucy King. The Red Storm are coached by Carrie Clayton. And now, the starting lineup for the West Prairie Cyclones. Number 3, Grace Lynette. Number 8, Edison Dismay. Number 11, Maddie Howard. Number 6, Kinley Walsh. Number 16, Jeannie Phelps. Number 12, Ellie Powell. The libero tonight, Susie Brown. The Cyclones are coached by Terry Paul, assisted by Schneider. Officials tonight include Laura Porter, Diana Welch, and the line judges Rachel Burns. And the league, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And once again, doing that little intro thing that I do. Carry a lot of hats here. 21-14, Red Storm of Monmouth United High School. And they take up, and they taking on the West Prairie Cyclones, the homestanding Cyclones here tonight. And a little adversity into the Cyclones lineup. Had missed a couple games, John, due to COVID issues. And so kind of regathering and changing things up and doing things here. And we'll see how they do versus this Red Storm team that they struggled with up at Monmouth, about 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah, as you mentioned, West Prairie coming off an extended COVID break, had their first game back in action last night. Started off slow, was able to get the train back on the tracks and come away with a win, and that's why they're here tonight. As you mentioned, they split the series season with the Red Storm, so I think we're definitely in for an exciting matchup tonight.
And it'll be Kerrigan Sperry to serve it first for the United Red Storm. She'll get ready and bring it across here. The Cyclones trying to defend the home turf tonight. And a rowdy Red Storm fans here. That one high deep and generally unplayable. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. See them at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. Serve comes off libero Kane, going to be popped up to the outside, hit through by Miller, and out of bounds. It is 2-0, West Prairie. Grace Vanonic readies with it, serves back row. Kane again, the serve, going to be brought up by Diaz. They'll load the long load up. Brown underneath it. Now it is Vanonic to the outside to Despain. Back row into the bleachers. It goes off of the arms of Miller. And West Prairie has jumped out to a 3-0 advantage. Here comes Vanonic again. The jump serve back row. Pounded up high by Sperry. Helped up front. They attack again. That one coming down the block of Welch. Vanonic for Despain again, and kind of mishit it off her hands. It is 3-1. The Red Storm, excuse me, get a side out.
Of course, the winner of this game will go on to face Hartsburg-Indom Stags in the finals of this regional.
Abby Hinton coming in. That serve a steamroller coming off of Diaz. They bring it up to Despain, who puts it down the blocks and makes it 4-1. Allie Arnold in. Janie Phelps goes out for West Prairie. Addie Despain ready to load it up, sends it across. Into the back row, back up to the net. Arnold sends it back, puts it home and in, and it's 5-1 West Prairie. Cyclones pushing it out to a 5-1 advantage. Here comes Despain once again. Lets it roll and brought up front there by Miller. They're going to load to Hinton. She'll tip it across. Arnold, nice diving save, poke back down, kept alive by Venonic and Despain, and dropped home on United side for a 6-1 advantage. Great save there. Despain brings it across, rolls it again off of Sperry. They bring it back to the middle, tapped over by Kane, but out of bounds. 7-1 West Prairie. Timeout called by the United Red Storm. We'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
Addie Despain back again. Serves it through. We brought up front. They're going to bring it for Hinton. She'll tap it over. Venonica's under it. Brown going to bump it up high. Kinley Welsh with a long tip, and Sperry takes it in the back row. Back again to Hinton, right side this time. Dug by Despain. Venonic brings it up. It is Arnold. Flips it over. Tipped and sent back by Hood. They're going to bring it up front. Diaz bringing it again. That one knocked down. Despain up with it. Set up for Welsh. She'll hammer it, and it's in.
Great save there from Addie Despain in the back row, and they were able to get Kinley Wells shut up. And if West Prairie can get her going early, it's going to be troubles for this United team.
And Mason hammered that one too. Despain brings it off Sperry up to Diaz. They're going to set it back in the middle. That one creamed to the back wall by Miller. 9-1 West Prairie. And volleyball, folks, is a very momentum game. Man, when things get rolling, it's hard to get them stopped. Save to Diaz. They'll bring it outside. It is Mason. Laser beam off the hands of Grace Venonic and down. 9-2 the side out back here for the Red Storm. Mason coming out. Coming in is Bertelson. And back at the serve is Kane. Kane coming to it. Off of Despain. And tipped over by Venonic. That one snapped up by Diaz. Kane outside to Hinton. She'll hit it, and that one high, deep, and/or generally unplayable. Ellie Powell in, Jersey Brown out as Maddie Hood comes in to serve. Back to let it go. Hood lets it go. Short shot. Nice job by Miller. And we've got a illegal hit up front. And it is 11-2. West Prairie on a big run here. Maddie Hood brings it again. Back row. Kane up to Diaz. Outside the setup. That one tipped across, and Hood cannot get it. Well, they're going to say it was out beyond the out stick. I wondered what everybody held up, but it was Bertelson hit it beyond the out stick. And the coach is asking the official, that is Coach Kerry Clayton, is asking about the side judge or the line judge calling that out. And so several of the fans not happy about it either.
One Rachel Kearns down there making that call as
Yep.
she was waving that flag in the air, trying to get the attention of somebody to make that call, and she eventually got her way, and here we are.
12-2. Maddie Hood sending that one through again. Taken by Miller in the back row. Diaz, they set up outside. That one hits high off the net. Powell up with it to Vidonic. Loaded for Welsh. She'll hit it through. Down and good, and it is 13-2. And we'll have a substitution by the Red Storm, who have a roster in the book. It looks like they just brought everybody. We'll get that in a minute. Hood brings it back to the row. Kane to Diaz, pops it up high, and that one tapped across. Allie Arnold is underneath it. They'll bring it. The back row attack by Despain off of Kane and down, and it's 14-2. Coming in the game was Angel Sargent for the Red Storm. 14-2 West Prairie, served by Hood. Off of Sargent. Diaz on the run, going to pop it up on the outside. Bertelson across, and Hood digs it up back row. Vidonic on the fly to Arnold. She'll tip, and that one went offside of her hands, drops in. It is 14-3. Jersey Brown in, and now they're going to put Ava Beck in and replace Allie Arnold. As it'll be back to serve Veronica Miller. Miller.
So we got some discussion down at the scores
I
table.
think maybe we're discussing lineups, I would guess, John. 14-3 West Prairie. Serve off of Despain. Vidonic up for Powell, and that one hit out of bounds. Ellie Powell sending it a little bit long. It is 14-4. And United trying to get back on a run here. Serve off of Despain to Vidonic. Set outside Kinley Welsh. Back row. That one is out of bounds. And it's one of those things, you cannot have that get United a little bit of momentum. And that's what United's doing here. Jersey Brown couldn't get to it. Beck tries to send it over from Despain. And that's quickly 4 in a row by United. Timeout by West Prairie. And we'll step aside as well. Thanks some of our very fine sponsors. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. This West Prairie game stream made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Hey, while you're out there, we would like, using the chat feature, would love to hear where you are listening to us from or watching us. Sorry, old radio guy, do that from time to time. Serve right through and in on the back line, a 14-7. And the run is 5 now by United. The Red Storm starting to storm their way back into it. Serve is across, and Brown, a little trouble with it, hits it into the bleachers. It is 14-8. And really, John, you just can't let these get into these big, long runs, because United is drawing a lot of energy off of it.
No, and as we mentioned, United split the season series with West Prairie, and actually in their last matchup in United, West Prairie won the first set by a big margin, and United stormed back and won the next two. So it's never too late to count this United team out.
Block at the net by Welsh, but sending it right back, United, McKenna Aguirre, and it is 14-9. Serve is across and out of bounds. That will make it 15-9 now. As Kinley Welsh will go back and serve it, a 6-point lead by West Prairie. Serve by Welsh, hits the net but will not go over, and it makes it 15-10. Hinton will go out. Coming in for the Red Storm is Addison Gillen. Gillen will let fly with it. Her serve into the back row. Brown's got it. Vidonic to Beck, who tried to get it across, could not do it. It's 15-11. This Red Storm trying to get back from all the way down 14-3. As Ava Beck will come out, Allie Arnold will come back in. Serve by Gillen, brings it off Brown, hit to the back wall. Welsh can't, they do get it, and Despain rockets it back across and in.
Wow.
What a play by West Prairie, the Never Say Die. Welsh was able to get it and bring it back through, and that's one of those they always tell you, John, do not give up on things. Allie Arnold serves it through, and it's taken there by Miller. There, Diaz going to bring it back. Help to the net, and Vanonic's got it for West Prairie. Powell sets her up. Vanonic to the attack, off the net, and dropping in past Diaz, and good. West Prairie reclaims a 17-11 advantage. 17-11, Allie Arnold will go for it again. Brings it through, up to Diaz. Diaz had to bring it back, and now two girls collide and try to hit it. And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered, John, because the libero was hitting it up above the back line. So it would have been a violation anyway. 18-11, Arnold again. Serve is brought up by Miller. Diaz going to set it up front. Bertelson dug up by Brown. And now Vanonic over to Despain. She'll hammer it in and good. And West Prairie takes a 19-11 advantage.
And just as it looked like the momentum was swinging in the favor of the United Red Storm, West Prairie right back into this game after having that big lead. Now leading 19-11.
Serve by Allie Arnold. And brought back up to the net. Tipped down and good, but the net violation. They're going to whistle that on Diaz instead of West Prairie.
One of those calls that could have went either way there, this time going in the favor of West Prairie.
Allie Arnold steps back with again, ready to let her sail. Long line drive, picked up in the back row there by Turnquist. Helped outside, and hitting it into the net was Aguirre. It is 21-11. And timeout called by the Red Storm. We will step aside as well. Cyclones lead it by 10.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more. I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
And we are back here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Even those that heckle me from time to time as we come back here. 20-11, the Cyclones looking good so far, but you got to keep the pedal to the metal because at any time this Red Storm team has a lot of firepower. They can jump right back in it. 21-11, 10-point lead for West Prairie is their largest. Service through, and that one, Turnquist hits it into the net or under it, so it's 22-11. Miller going to come back in, Turnquist out. Coach Kerry Clayton is trying anything to get this righted. Serve, that one coming off the side of Arnold's hand, so 21-12, side out, back over to United. Janie Phelps in, Allie Arnold goes out for West Prairie. Serving is Bertelson for the United Red Storm. Serve, Phelps up with it, Despain helps, and Powell blocked, saved at the floor. Up with it, and now Vanonic tips it, and we've got a net violation on West Prairie. And so that makes it 22-12, or 13, as it is a point United. And Bertelson will come back to serve. Grace Vanonic not very happy with the call. Bertelson. High short floater, Brown is there. Vanonic out to Despain. She'll pound it off the arms of Miller, and down it goes. It's 23-13. And John, whenever you have those moments, you got to use them to refocus yourself and take your anger out on the opponent.
Yeah, I think Grace Vanonic was actually upset as one of the players from United continued to play after the call there and actually spiked it off Kinley Welsh's head after the whistle was already blown, but
Vanonic up with it now to Despain, brings it sideways. Brought up by Aguirre. They're going to load it on the outside. That one into the net by Aguirre. That is Mackenzie Aguirre. Game point, 24-13. Jersey Brown will try to finish it off here. Serve, back row. Popped up high, Diaz with it. On the outside, that one through past Jersey Brown and Phelps, good. It's 24-14. 24-14, nice shot out there by number 17, Mason. And now trying to get them back in it is Sperry. Sperry off of Brown, over to Vanonik, up for Hood, blocked, kept alive. Welsh brings it up. Vanonik blocked again, and down on the United Red Storm side. West Prairie wins game one by a big margin there, 25-14. In fact, funny enough, John, all our games tonight have been won by a 25-14 margin, as Archburg-Emden did there as well. The useless trivia brought to you by Greg. We're going to take this commercial timeout and thank some of our very fine sponsors here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street. Good Hope, just east of North Elementary School, says thanks for a great season. Thanks for letting us fill all your produce needs. Be sure to follow their Facebook page for all their updates. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. You come see where it's grown. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local Country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Yetter Farm Equipment, with facilities in Colchester and Macomb, is an agriculture equipment manufacturer that's been in business since 1930 and is currently hiring. Start a new career with excellent benefits and starting hourly wages of $18 to $24 per hour. For more information, call 309-776-4111 or visit them online at www.yitterco.com/careers. As we get back ready, John, really for West Prairie, again, as I said, they've got to keep the pedal to the metal. I mean, United is a very, very good team, and if you can get up on them early, you've got to, and got to be ready because, you know, like any, like you say in a boxing match, or you say, you know, in all kinds of stuff, you got to watch because they've got a lot of pride. They're going to want to come back and really pick it up a notch in game two.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, we saw that in the first game, the first set here, as West Prairie was able to go out to a lead of 14-3, I believe, before United Red Storm stormed right back into this game, made it close, and West Prairie let their foot off the pedal. They came back, so as you mentioned, if West Prairie wants to close out these games, they just cannot take their foot off the pedal.
And I'm going to wet my whistle for those of you playing the home game, Consume. And Grace Vanonik will start the second game with the serve. I forgot, Sperry actually started game one with the serve. Phelps is in there along with Brown, Despain, Welsh, and Hood. Here comes Vanonik, serve that one. High, deep, and generally unplayable. And the Red Storm take a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring back to serve Diaz for the Red Storm. She'll serve back row, in and good. Brown tried to duck out of the way, and so the Red Storm take a 2-0 advantage. Maddie Diaz launching that one right at the back line. Serve comes. Phelps brings it up front to Vanonik. Going to set it out to Despain. That one down the blocks and good. And it is 2-1, side out West Prairie. Allie Arnold in, Janie Phelps out. A little bit of a new lineup there for West Prairie. And so Addie Despain back to it again, launches it, and Miller's up with it. Diaz going to back set it. It is Mason, the load up, off of the arms, off the ceiling, and nobody could go get it. So it makes it 3-1 United. As Mason comes out, and coming in for the Red Storm, Bertelson. Kane will serve it now for the Red Storm. Their serve, low line drive, And Despain's got it. They load it up. Allie Arnold sits it through. Miller up with it. Kane. And now Diaz says, I got it. Despain at the back line to Venonic. Back set it is Welsh who tips it long. And Kane one-handed it but couldn't control, and it's 3-2. Ellie Powell in, the libero, Jersey Brown out. Back to serve now is Maddie Hood. Hood brings it down the line. Kane flips it up. Diaz faking the hint and coming outside to Bertelson, who hits it into the net. And we're even at 3 apiece. Maddie Hood eyes it up again. Lets it fly, and Kane's there. Diaz had to make the long run to get it and kind of half blocked Miller. Miller finally got it. Hood up to Venonic. She'll set it outside. Arnold will tip it deep and right past a running Sperry and in. The Seeing Eye single drops in for a 4-3. I don't drop into baseball coverage very often, once in a while. Hood serves it off of Kane. Pop tie there for Bertelson again. She'll tip. Welsh sends it back, punched over by Kane. Up for Despain, and Welsh bumps it high. Kane to Diaz. They'll bring it up to Bertelson. Off the net, saved at the floor. Arnold brings it over, and United's got it. For Miller, she'll lob it across. Dug by Hood in the back row, but couldn't bring it up very far, and that'll earn a side out back to the Red Storm and even us up at 4. Aguirre will come back in as Miller will serve it now for the Red Storm. Her serve taken by Brown up to Venonic. Set up for Addie Despain, back row. Miller, nice dig back there. Diaz to Aguirre. Brown is right there. Venonic tips it over. Kept alive by Diaz, but out of bounds. They're going to say it actually was in on the sidelines, so the Red Storm take a 5-4 lead. Ava back in. Allie Arnold going to go out. As Miller readies to serve. Miller loads it, and it comes off of Despain up for Welsh at the net, and dug by Miller. Over to Diaz. Diaz up for Bertelson, fires it through. Despain digs. Venonic high up for Beck, back row, and out of bounds. 6-4, 2-point advantage here for United, as Beck will go out, and coming in will be Allie Arnold. Miller once again brings it, and Despain is up to Venonic. Fake to Powell, to Despain the back row attack, and Diaz tried to just one-hand it up, could not. 6-5, side out to West Prairie. Kinley Welsh will come back and serve it. 6-5 lead here for the United Red Storm. Here comes Welsh. Her serve taken nicely by Kane. Right up to Diaz. Outside, it is Aguirre. Arnold tries to dig it up. Saved by Despain. And Venonic brings it across. Miller now to Diaz. Bumps it back over. Despain is there. Venonic for Powell. She'll flip it. Saved by Kane at the floor. And Despain tried to keep it alive but could not. Mistimed her jump. But I tell you, John, these ladies are laying it out tonight.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, of course, that's what you have to do. I mean, in this semifinal matchup for the regionals, you have to put your blood, sweat, and tears on the court. And both teams here tonight are certainly doing just that, and it's made for an exciting matchup, as that one's going to be mishandled in the back row by, I believe, Jersey Brown.
Timeout called by West Prairie. 8-5, 3-point lead for United, and the Red Storm fighting for their season. We're going to take this timeout. TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Back here as Gillen will be back once again to serve. It is an 8-5 Red Storm lead. Serve taken by Brown, going to come up to Venonic, tips it over. Kane makes a flying grab. Diaz now to Aguirre, hits it into the net, and that gets a side out for West Prairie. And you take them however you can get them, John.
Yeah, just the play West Prairie was looking for to get the ball back in service. I mean, this set here has had a completely different feeling from the first set as West Prairie is able to pull out in that one, and that one's going to be long out of bounds, and the service will remain with West Prairie.
And the home run ball, Cleveland wins the pennant, 8-7. 1 point lead now for the Red Storm. Arnold deep at the back row and swung on and missed by Penn. It was one of those, she thought about it, realized where she was, and just couldn't get out of the way. 8-8 tie. Serve drops in front of a diving Miller and good. Bandage up an ace for Allie Arnold. And now Miller will go out as coming in Angel Sargent. And these coaches pulling out everything because this is your season right here. Arnold lets it go again. And Sargent gets it. Diaz sends it high. Kane lobs it across to Spain is there. Bononic going to bring it outside. Eddie to Spain. That one out of bounds. Janie Phelps in. Allie Arnold goes out for West Prairie. A 9-9 tie. As Bertelson will serve it now. Bertelson eyeing it up. Lets it go. Off of Despain to Venonic, who tips it, saved at the floor, but couldn't bring it up. Penn, a nice job getting under it, John, but she just couldn't get it high enough.
Yeah, and if you tuned into the game last night, Grace Venonic was a killer with that dump move, as she has been all season, and we see it's paying off there.
Brown unloads it, deep back row off Penn. Diaz coming up. Here's the load by Mason. That one off the blocks and down. And the Red Storm, it just back and forth. These two slugging at each other.
Yeah, completely different feeling here in this set number 2, as this one has just been back and forth, as you mentioned, compared to the runaway we had in the first one.
It is, they've been slugging at each other. Serve by Sperry, brought up, and Bononic going to load it to Despain. Tips it, and puts it in and good. As we say, killing them softly with her song. 11-10, Grace Venonic coming to it. Gonna give the jump serve. Pounds it through and is brought up front. Diaz for Mason, and that one touched at the net by Despain, so gonna tie things up at 11. Hinton in and going out is Penn. Back to serve is Maddie Diaz for the United Red Storm. It is an 11-11 tie. Diaz lets it go off of Brown. To Venonic, set to the outside. Welsh will tip. Diaz up with it. And Kane, I don't know that Miller even knew where it was. Miller sends it over. Phelps up with it. Over for Despain. Stuffed at the net. And down it goes. Red Storm making it 12-11. 1 point lead here for United. Diaz. Couple of dribbles at it. And now Despain's up with it. Venonic going to set it for her. She'll attack. Go across court. A great save by Diaz. Brown gets it on the run. And now brought up front. Despain brings it over. Saved at the floor. Diaz up for Mason. Tipped and taken there. Venonic sends it back quickly. Dug up in the back row. Diaz up front with Mason. And Phelps brings it up front. Venonic up for Welsh. Tipped by Kane. Sent backwards by Diaz. I'm not sure what exactly she was trying to do there, John, but hit it backwards and Kane couldn't quite get it. Phelps will go out, Arnold in. And that was one of those, I don't know whether she was just trying to pop it up any way possible. Serve off Miller. Diaz tips it over. Helped out and now brought up. Kinley Welsh will tip it back row. It is popped up there by Sperry, set up for Mason on the top. Brown up with it. Arnold brings it over. And United's got it. Kane to Diaz, out for Miller. Out of bounds. Is out of bounds, and that will mean a 13-12 West Prairie advantage. Eddie Despain, back row. Miller over to Diaz. She'll set it for Miller, the back row attack, and that one is out of bounds again. 2 in a row. It is 14-12. Timeout called by United. And John, I'm telling you, The momentum swings in this game, too, are something else.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen both teams back and forth, back and forth. I think that might be one of the first times that we've seen this game that either team has been able to score 3 points in a row, and this one's going to come down to whichever team is able to capitalize on this momentum first and run away with this one.
And I know some of the Red Storm fans weren't real happy. That last one you could see, even I could see with bifocals. That one was out. But I did notice, I mentioned that with Vononik, and I noticed Diaz kind of chattered a little bit at the official. And you got to be careful with that, because a yellow card or a red card at this stage in the game would be devastating.
Yeah, that could be the type of thing that could swing this game and in the direction not in your favor. And this one's definitely going to come down to the wire, and it's stuff like that that can pay dividends late.
Eddie Despain will send it again. The Red Storm buckling in here. Serve is across, and that one, Prairie not able to bring it up, and it makes it 15-12. We have a substitution. It is Turnquist coming in. She'll replace Sperry. 15-12, and also just trying to break momentum on the serve, too. Part of those timeouts and subs. Despain off Miller. Diaz up with it. Miller off the blocks, and Vononik brings it high. They'll set it out for Welsh from Despain. Back row. Turnquist took it. Kane, and Diaz tips it through. Despain, they bring it Vononik up to Arnold, down and off the hands of Kane, and good. And John, I don't know if folks at home could audibly hear Coach Clayton yelled at Turnquist no, because she had to jump to get that at the back line. 16-12, West Prairie. Despain brings it. Miller up to Diaz, back set, it is Mason, dug by Despain. Vononik up for Welsh, drops it over, Kane can't get it, and it goes down and good, 17-12.
Just like that, West Prairie, in the blink of an eye, pulling out to this 5-point advantage, and we'll see if United can get something going here, slow them down.
Despain off of Sperry, back into the ball again. They load it for Mason, blocked, and they bring it to Vononik. Outside for Arnold, she'll tip, and Miller says, oh, I gotcha. Diaz back to Miller on the outside, dug up by Vononik. Brown sets it. It is Welsh on the attack. Back row, Sperry's there. United. Here comes the load up to Mason. Brown can't get that one. That is a huge stop for the United Red Storm. Kane back to serve now. 17-13, 4-point West Prairie lead. As Kane brings it over off of Despain. Vononik set up back row attack. Eddie Despain past a diving Sperry and good. And West Prairie gets it back and makes it 18-13. Ellie Powell in, Jersey Brown out. And Maddie Hood back at the serve. Good to see Maddie Hood back on the floor. West Prairie won the first game, 25-14. Hood lets it go. Down the line, Miller. Up to Diaz, back set. Bertelson lobs it over. Despain's there. Vononik set up for Powell. She'll tip, and Kane up with it. Diaz up for Bertelson. Down and good, and the Red Storm get it back. Hood out, Brown in, and Sperry out. Aguirre in for United as Miller will let it go. Great shot there by Bertelson. Miller, serve off of Despain, up to Vononik. She'll tip it over. Kane says got it. Diaz loaded for Bertelson again. She'll tip. Arnold up with it. Vononik back set. It is Welsh. Blocked. Popped up again. Here comes West Prairie on the load up. Despain. That one into the net. And the Red Storm closed within 3 at 18-15. You knew they weren't going to go away in this one. Miller. Back row off of Despain, high in the air to Vononik. Back set, it is Welsh. Long and out of bounds, and it's 18-16. And the Cyclones got to stop hitting it out of bounds as the Red Storm's starting to really mount. Come back, Despain back row attack. That one off Miller. Diaz high in the air. Miller the attack, and Brown digs it up for West Prairie. Vononik back set, it is Welsh. This time off the blocks, Miller. The Diaz up front for Aguirre. It's that one off the tape. Does not get across. And it makes it 19-16. 3-point lead for West Prairie. Kinley Welsh back to serve. Serve off Miller. Diaz brings it up. Bertelson had to kind of back up to get it, so tips it. And Vanonic with it. Couldn't get it across. Tried to hit the tape, but couldn't. And it makes it 19-17. Hinton goes out. Coming in is Gillen. Gillen to serve for United. 19-17, West Prairie by 2. Gillen served to Jersey Brown. Vanonic up for Powell. Powell will load up, blocked. Pops it up high. Despain will tip it back row, and Miller's there. Diaz, quick load up for Bertelson. Stuffed by Powell, but out of bounds. And the Red Storm are within 1. If you're a Cyclone fan, this is gut check time, or a Cyclone player. And for the Red Storm, just want to keep pressing the advantage. Brown up with it and saved. Despain brings it over. Kane up with it. Diaz for Bertelson off the blocks. And now Vanonic come to load, coming to Arnold. She'll run it to Aguirre. Set for Bertelson. Marshally blocked. Vanonic up with it outside. It is Arnold. Back row. Miller high into the middle. Diaz needs to. It is Kane, the back row attack, and that one will go out of bounds. And that one a huge sigh of relief there for West Prairie fans. Gillen goes out, and coming in for her is Penn. Allie Arnold to serve for West Prairie, leading 20-18. Serve back row, out of bounds. Phelps will come in, Arnold will go out, and the Red Storm once again a chance to tie. Bertelson back at the serve. Serve off of Brown, can't get a handle on it, and it is 20-20 tie. Timeout call by West Prairie. We will step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Back here is the Red Storm, taking every second in that timeout. The Cyclones back out here.
What a set number 2 we've had in this game.
Oh.
It's been...
I tell you, it's a shame one of them's got to lose this one. It's been a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. No fault to either team, no matter which one this goes. Both teams have come out here, play with a lot of heart and a lot of energy, and it's been exciting.
Serve off of Despain. Vanonic back set for Powell. She'll hit it into the net, and the Red Storm, for the first time in a long time, have the lead, 21-20. Bertelson back to it, serves off of Phelps, high up to Vanonic. She'll load it for Despain, and that one in on the back line. We're up at 21. Maddie Hood in, and Ellie Powell out. Jersey Brown to serve for West Prairie. 21-21 tie. Serve floater, and that one, Sperry had trouble again at Kane. Bumps it over, is taken by Brown. Welsh helms it out, and Despain will just bump it through. Penn takes it back. They load up for Mason, and that one drops in on the line. Red Storm take a 22-21 lead. Aguirre out, and coming back in is Sperry. Sperry trying to take a 2-point advantage. Despain up with it. Brown going to help it up. Despain back at the attack end of the net, and it's 23-21. 23-21. United trying to force a game 3. Serve off of Phelps. Pops it high. Vanonic out for Despain. She'll laser that over. Kane's up with it. Right back from Mason. Stuffed at the net, but out of bounds. And it is game point for the United Red Storm. Sperry to it again, trying to finish it off. Tip the net. And now Vanonic tips it over, taken by Mason. Diaz going to bring it outside for Miller, lobbed across. And they bring it out to Despain from Venonic. That one tipped and good. And the Red Storm have won game 2 to force a big, big game 3 here as these two teams, what a game number 2. And man, John, we will go to a game number 3. And wow.
You couldn't have asked for a better second set, Greg.
No, you can't ask for a better second set from these two. West Prairie looked like they were running away with it, and then all of a sudden, here came the Red Storm back. They are a very good team, and you can't count them out. So that one, they win 25-21 in game number 2. And at points looked like West Prairie was going to start pulling away, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They tie it up here. Well, seasons all comes down to this as these two teams battling out for this game number 3. And we're going to take another commercial timeout. We're getting back ready to go here as they will put a little time on the clock. And really, it's whoever's got the will to jump out first. I know West Prairie United jumped out quick first, and then West Prairie came back, but it's really whoever can get that jump early, John.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've talked about all season how much momentum plays into this, and there's no bigger spot you want to capture the momentum than in this semifinals game, and both of the teams were able to do that in that game, going on big runs, able to slow the other teams down when they were on big runs. It was really exciting back and forth matchup, and we're in for one heck of a third set if it's anything like the one we just saw.
Yeah, it was a fantastic first game and second game, and we'll see who's got the most in the tank here. I know Coach Clayton has taken a long time there in that huddle with her charges here tonight. You are listening and watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I want to say thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. Let us know where you're listening to us, whether you're a Red Storm fan or a Cyclone fan. On the floor for Game 3 for the United Red Storm. It is starting out with number 3, Madison Penn. Also out there, Reese Bertelson, joined by Kerrigan Sperry, Veronica Miller, Callie Mason, and Maddie Diaz. Lucy Kane, the libero, on now. And for West Prairie, it is Maddie Hood, Grace Venonic, Addie Despain, now Jersey Brown replacing Ellie Powell, Janie Phelps, and Kinley Welsh. Here we go. It is everybody put your money in the center of the table. Loser goes home, winner plays Hartsburg-Emden. Serve across. Phelps brings it up to Venonic. They bring it out for Despain, unloads, and that one out of bounds. It is 1-0 in favor of the Red Storm. 1-0 Red Storm lead here. Serve just across the net. Brown not able to bring it up and off the floor, and they jump out to a 2-0 advantage. Their fans getting up and into it. Serve off of Phelps, coming up to Venonic, outside to Despain. It's that one into the net, and it's 3-0. And it is the errors, John, that are going to prove critical in this game number 3.
Yeah, not the start you want to see if you're a fan of the Cyclones, as they are down a quick 3-0. We'll see if they can get it back on the tracks here.
Sent across by Phelps. Miller with it to Diaz, up to Mason. And that one out of bounds. So makes it 3-1. And now Grace Venonic back to serve here. 3-1 Red Storm in game 3. Venonic powers it across off of Kane. High in the air to Diaz, waiting for Miller. She'll bring it across, touch. Janie Phelps off the floor and back across the Red Storm. Set up for Mason. That one in and good. and it is 4-1. Four to 1, 3-point lead here for the Red Storm. As coming on the way with it is Diaz. Her serve off Brown, high in the air to Venonic, set up for Despain. That one in on the sideline. And we'll bring it back over. It is 4-2, and a side out to West Prairie. Phelps out, Allie Arnold in. Here comes Addie Despain, one of the seniors on this West Prairie roster. Despain serves it off of Miller up to Diaz. She'll get it out of the net. Mason, and that one long and out of bounds. It is 4-3.
And this set quickly shaping up to be the same as we saw in the second set, as both teams neither of them able to pull away early. If I can get that one to come out.
4-3. West Prairie going for the tie. Despain off Kane. Diaz back set. It is Mason. That one a laser beam. They're going to whistle a lift as that one makes it 5-3. Side out back over for the Red Storm. Lucy Kane readies with it. For United, serves it over. Back row, Brown is there. Arnold going to help it out, and then is sent across by Hood. Red Storm loaded up. It is Bertelson down and good, and it makes it 6-3. The Red Storm starting to build a little momentum here as they seem to be getting a little stronger as this third game goes. Kane serves again off of Brown, high in the air to Venonic. Gonna set it up to Spain in the back row. Gets a huge shot in and good. And it is 6-4.
Nice back row attack there from Addie Despain. And if you watched the game last night, she was very effective in those types of situations. I believe we had her at 5 or so unofficially, and she proves to be able to do the same thing here tonight.
Hood with it at the back line. Kane got it, helped out by Sperry, bumped over by Bertelson. Venonic with it, tips it, and dug at the floor by Diaz. Kane flips it across. Hood is there. And now Venonic fakes. They come to Despain. Back row, out of bounds. 7-4, 3-point lead for United. Veronica Miller serving here, trying to make it a 4-point lead. Low line drive, that one out of bounds, and brings it back over to West Prairie. It is 7-5. Miller just a little bit long. Kinley Welsh, jump serve, brings it back row. Kane pops it up high, and Miller and Hinton couldn't decide who was going to get it. West Prairie within one. Hinton into the ball game. We'll get you a lineup check just a second. Kinley Welsh comes to it again. 7-6 United Red Storm. Serve out of bounds, and it is 8-6. Hinton will go out as Gillen will come in to serve. It is Miller, Kane, Diaz, Aguirre, and Bertelson for the Red Storm. Gillen serve off of Allie Arnold. They try to flip it up, and West Prairie can't keep it alive. A stuff at the net by Bertelson, and it is 9-6 United. Gillen comes with it again off of Brown. To Venonic, back set for Allie Arnold. That goes through, one-handed save, and goes out of bounds. That's going to bring Penn back in, and Gillen goes out. 9-7, 2-point Red Storm lead. Allie Arnold back to serve. Arnold serves it short, and Miller can't get there in time. 9-8. West Prairie has tried to fight their way into the lead, and each time the Red Storm have made that defensive stop. As Allie Arnold settles in again. Serve through the hands of Kane and back, and we're tied at 9. 9-9, not the German-speaking portion of our program, but our score. And the Cyclones will go for the lead. Arnold down the line is back toward the net, tipped, Kept alive by Despain and Arnold. Bumped across by Venonic. Miller gets it on the run. Diaz for Bertelson. Blocked by Miller. Kane keeps it alive. And they'll load for Aguirre. She'll hit it into the net. And 10-9, West Prairie leads by 1. 4 in a row by the Cyclones now. Here comes Arnold again. Serve. Brought up to the net. Tipped over, and Venonic's up. Brown helps it out. Venonic will tap it through, and Miller digs back row for United. Diaz to Bertelson, partially blocked, and drops down and good. We're tied at 10. Janie Phelps in for Allie Arnold. Mason back in, Kane out as Bertelson serves to the Red Storm. It has been nip and tuck all the way in this one. Bertelson off of Despain. Venonic pops it high. It is Powell who bumps it over, and Miller takes it. Diaz up front for Mason, stuffed, back again, flipped over, flip back, and West Prairie has it now. Addie Despain off the blocks and down as Mason puts it in for an 11-10 advantage.
And again, neither of these teams able to pull out to any sort of lead. It's just back and forth, back and forth.
Bertelson, serve back row, and nobody could decide who had it. 12-10, 2-point advantage. And we've got a timeout called by West Prairie. 12-10, the United Red Storm with the lead over West Prairie. We're going to step aside right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Back here in what is shaping up to be an epic game number 3. It is 12-10. United in game number 3. Bertelson back to serve. She brings it. Back row Despain takes it. Venonic back set. It is Powell, partially blocked. Popped up. And Despain tried to send it across. Could not do it. It is 13-10. 3-point lead once again for the United Red Storm. Bertelson comes with it. Serve off of Despain. Venonic runs to it, and then Despain can't get it across. It is 14-10. West Prairie having a little trouble getting the wheels back on it as Bertelson will serve, and Phelps brings it up to Venonic. Outside for Despain off the blocks. Bertelson sideways. Miller helps it out. Now Diaz bumps it over. Phelps right there in the back. Venonic up for Welsh, and that one dug by Bertelson. Nice dig. Diaz up for Aguirre, and Phelps digs it back row. Venonic tips it across. Taken by Penn, set up from there for Aguirre again, and she mishits it into the net. And it's 14-11, a gigantic side out for West Prairie. Kane is in, Bertelson out. And Jersey Brown back to serve here for West Prairie. 14-11. Serve to Penn. Diaz going to load it up. Mason blocked. Underneath it's Despain. They come to Maddie Hood off the blocks. And we've got a net violation on United, so it's 14. There you go again, John. One, we thought a 4-point lead might be huge, and man, here comes Cyclones again.
Yeah, just able to come through with some big plays, and the net violation helping them out there, able to get the momentum swinging back towards their direction.
Addie Despain, trouble with that one. Phelps trying to get to it, could not. And that one to make it a 15-12. Phelps tried to track it down there, could not now. Slap with it is Sperry. Sperry line drive. Phelps up to Venonic. Sets it the outside is Despain. Off the blocks and into the stands. It's 15-13. And I said, man, it's going to be a crime whichever one goes home out of this, because it has been a puncher's dream Grace Venonic, back row off of Kane up to Diaz. Quick setup, it is Mason. And Mason called for the net violation as she grabbed the top of the net. And we've got a timeout by the Red Storm, 15-14, 1 point lead for United in Game 3 right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH live on the big screen events. And you can join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. This West Prairie game stream made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Grace Venonic trying to serve for a tie. Serve is through off of Sperry in the back row. They bring it up front for Miller. Tips it over and drops it down and good. I think she thought somebody was going to get the block. Hinton is in and pin goes out. Maddie Diaz ready to serve. Diaz brings the serve off of Brown over into the bleachers, and it is 17-14. Red Storm out again by 3. 17-14, here comes Diaz once again. Her serve off of Brown in the back row. Venonic set up for Despain, rolls it over, but out of bounds. It's 18-14.
And if you're West Prairie, you got to look to some of your big players to come up with a play here and keep your season alive, as this one's slowly starting to turn in the favor of the Red Storm.
Line drive, Phelps going to bring it up. Venonic outside for Welsh. She laces that one into the back line, and a huge stop for West Prairie. John, you're exactly right on that. They had to have a stop. Now they got to get on a run. Addie Despain ready to launch, brings it across, rolls off the net, saved at the floor by Sperry. Hinton lobs it over, Brown can't get to it, and it's 19-15. 19-15, 4-point lead for the Red Storm. 6 away from going into the championship. Kane wanders to it. Serves over off of Brown. Venonic helps it out. Despain unloads it, but hits it into the net. And the lead is 5, and that's the biggest the lead's been in quite a while. Kane readies. Comes to it. Serve off of Arnold. Brown's going to help it out. And now Venonic will bump it over. Red Storm play it. They set it up for Bertelson in the middle. Despain keeps it up. Arnold helps it out. And Venonic will tip it through. Hinton for Diaz. Quick setup for Bertelson. Off her hands and down. And it's 21-15.
And West Prairie has faced adversity all season, but possibly none bigger than right now, as they need to find something to keep their season alive.
Kane fires it over. But Despain takes it. Venonic up to Welsh on the back row. Nice save back there by Sperry. Miller up across, and Brown's got it. Venonic loads for West Prairie. Allie Arnold off the net. Kane up with it to the net, and it goes down and good. 21-16. John, you said it. If there is any kind of a pressure cooker now, this qualifies.
Yeah, there's nothing like playing for your season, Greg.
Hood powers it over off Kane. On to the outside, it is Bertelson, blocked, but recovered by Miller. Diaz tipped it across. Venonic's up. Powell going to help it out. Is Kinley Welsh, blocked at the net, kept alive. Venonic for Arnold, she'll tip, and Miller digs it for United. Diaz up to Bertelson. That one is in and good. And the Red Storm, the countdown to 3. Aguirre in, coming out is Sperry and Veronica Miller again. 3 left. West Prairie, if they've got a run in them, it's got to be now. Serve off of Arnold up to the net. Bertelson puts it down, and it's 23-16. Timeout called by West Prairie, 23-16. 7-point lead for the Red Storm. We're going to take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
Well, if you're a West Prairie fan, you have got to believe in miracles. 23-16 in Game 3. If you are a United Red Storm fan, pedal to the metal time. Here comes Veronica Miller. She loads, sends it off of Addie Despain. Venonic fakes to Powell, comes to Arnold. And now the Red Storm loaded up. Aguirre with it. Off the blocks and down. Game and match point United. Game and match point for the United Red Storm. Serve in on the back line, and it is in and good. 25-16, they win the last one as the Red Storm take this one in 3. 14-25, 25-21, and 25-16. The Red Storm earn a date tomorrow night with the Hartsburg-Emden Stags, and we'll see who can come up with a couple big games tomorrow night for this regional championship. John, man, what you've got to give the Red Storm a lot of credit in this one. They really, really dug down when they had to.
Yeah, they faced a lot of adversity early in that first set as West Prairie was able to go 14-3. It looked like they were going to completely run away with that one and run away with the next one and punch their ticket to the championship game. But this Red Storm team, they are extremely gritty, and they just got the job done here tonight.
Well, and I mean, folks at home, I'm sure know we are the Cyclone broadcasters, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Cyclones. They fought to the end, just came up a little bit short tonight. And, a great season goes in the books for the Cyclones.
Yeah, most certainly. Last we mentioned, they went on a run towards the beginning of the season, won a lot of games in a row. They lost one of their key players, and Lauren Powell dropped 6 straight before finally winning last night after that COVID break. And no fault to them. They played extremely well here tonight, and just United played a bit better.
And that's all you got to say. They played a bit better. Hats off to the United Red Storm as they'll head to tomorrow night's contest versus a very, very good Hartsburg-Emden team. Again, congratulations to them. And that is going to do it for us here tonight as the United Red Storm and the Hartsburg-Emden Stags will match up tomorrow night. Folks, that'll be a 6 p.m. start tomorrow. Thanks for tuning us in. Thanks for turning us on.